Right now at noon, a heroic rescue after a young boy falls through thin ice. Love the story.
We've got ourselves another spring-like day out there. Take a look at this shot from this morning. We're going to talk about these warm temperatures coming up.
Plus, for the second straight season, the Kansas City Chiefs are headed to the Super Bowl. We see how local fans are reacting to the big win.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. In today's top story, a boy falls through thin ice at Mercy Park and is rescued by a Good Samaritan and Joplin police. At about 6 p.m. Sunday night, reports of someone falling through the ice at Mercy Park alerted Joplin E911. We learned on scene that at the Mercy Park pond on the far west side, a juvenile male about 12 years old had fallen through the ice. The boy was up to his neck in the water. A Good Samaritan jumped in and rescued the boy, and a Joplin police officer jumped in too. We will keep you updated as the Good Samaritan did not hang around. The JPD tells us the boy was being treated on scene by METS ambulance for non-life-threatening injuries, and a parent was present. We will keep you posted as new details become available. And a fire at an Oklahoma marina destroyed a restaurant but did not damage the boats. It happened just before 5 p.m. Saturday at the Arrowhead Yacht Club in Delaware County. Authorities say no one was on the property when it caught fire, but that the yacht club and its restaurant are a complete loss. None of the boats or the marina were damaged. However, 11 days ago, 3 boats did catch fire, and right before they had to push them away to avoid it from spreading to the rest of the structure. And 2 people were injured in a fire at the University of Missouri School of Medicine Friday. Fire officials say there was a second alarm blaze inside a research lab on the 7th floor of the Medical Sciences building. The lab was not in use at the time. 2 people were taken to the hospital but have since been released. There was also reports of a possible explosion, but that hasn't been confirmed. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. And a Newton, Kansas woman is dead after crashing into a Walmart supercenter. It happened Saturday afternoon at the Walmart on 1701 South Kansas Road in Newton, Kansas. Authorities say the car crashed through the wall of the Vision Center. The driver, Wanda Hoyle of Newton, was pronounced dead at the scene. No one else was injured in the crash.
Yeah, we've had ourselves a pretty decent day. We had a cold start, but temperatures warming up nicely. A look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker from earlier this morning. Again, it was clear, and it is clear across most of the country. Really, the only activity is moving off the New England coast, and we got some snow and some showers in the Appalachians, and that's really about it. It's finally a little bit of a quiet time across the U.S. And remember, last week during our fog, we had dense fog advisories from the Canadian border to the Mexican border, and then from Colorado into the East Coast. That's how expansive some of this fog was. Not like that today. This morning's camera from MoDOT at 20th and Rangeline. Beautiful day, great start. Our camera on the Cornell Complex also showing clear skies, a bit of a breeze, sunny. Looks great, and it's going to stay that way. Yesterday started at 31, so 6 degrees above normal, and we made it about another 5 degrees above normal for the high in the low 50s, and that warming trend is going to continue. So we've gone from these pretty chilly temperatures, even below normal, to above normal, and it's going to stay that way for the next several days across the area with these above normal temperatures and spring-like weather. And of course, remember, since now we're on this whole new switch where last week things were considerably worse, you never know what Mother Nature might throw at you. And anytime you're not near your TV, don't forget about the KOAM Skywatch weather app. It is free and available in your favorite app store. All you have to do is search for KOAM Skywatch weather. We're going to have a complete look at your forecast and these spring-like temperatures here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. 3 Dunwich firefighters were presented life-saving awards related to a call from October 7th. Mets Battalion Chief Kyle Jackson honored Lieutenant Jay Wells, firefighter Billy Jocelyn, and firefighter Greg Schrum at the fire station. The call was for an unconscious male. The crew arrived to Lockhart Street in Dunwich before an ambulance taking over CPR in the progress. The man survived despite medically dying 3 times on the scene and 3 times on the way to the hospital. The crew met with the man privately, who continues his recovery. And Missouri Governor Mike Parson announced last week that Missouri has been given more than $90 billion to improve Interstate 70. Officials say the grant will be used to improve truck parking, work zone technology, and workforce development in an effort of adding an additional lane to Interstate 70. The first improved Development to I-70 project is set to be presented February 14th at the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission meeting. And the Kansas City Chiefs are headed to Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. The Chiefs won the AFC Championship yesterday, beating the Baltimore Ravens 17-10. Academy Sports in Joplin was ready for the celebration with AFC Championship gear. They opened their doors to Chiefs fans after the game. And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in our 4 states region. Up next on KOAM News at Noon. Mystery surrounding 3 Kansas City Chiefs fans found dead outside a man's home leads to accusations from the victim's family. We'll have the latest. And later, we're making chicken and dumplings in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. Stay tuned. Police say no foul play is suspected, and the grieving families are still eagerly awaiting a medical examiner's report that could provide definitive clues into how these 3 men died.
We're in a really hard place right now.
Growing frustration from the mother of David Harrington. Her son, along with Ricky Johnson and Clayton McGinney, were found dead nearly 3 weeks ago, frozen outside a friend's Kansas City rental home.
What do you think happened?
Honestly, I don't know. I know my son was not a drug addict. I know these men were not drug addicts.
Police say the longtime friends went to Jordan Willis's house on a snowy January 7th to watch the Kansas City Chiefs play. After the game, family of the 3 men say they couldn't reach them. According to police, 2 days later, one of the men's fiancé went to the house looking for him. When no one answered the door, she says she broke into the home and found a body on the back porch. Police discovered 2 more in the yard. Adriana Juarez is the mother of Ricky Johnson's child.
How do you not know there's 3 dead bodies in the back porch?
Police say Willis, who hosted the men, told him he saw his friends leave through the front door. Then he went to sleep with headphones on and a fan and didn't see texts from worried family and friends. Jordan Willis's attorney says his client is not responsible for his friends' deaths.
Jordan had absolutely nothing to do with the deaths of his 3 friends.
And police say it could take up to 6 more weeks for that medical report to be released to the public. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
The United States is promising a response after a deadly ambush on American troops in Jordan over the weekend. An Iran-backed militia group is blamed for the drone attack, which raises concerns of entanglement with Iran and broader conflict in the Middle East. CBS's Natalie Brand has the latest from Washington.
Sunday's pre-dawn attack on a U.S. military outpost in Jordan killed 3 American troops and injured nearly 3 dozen others. CBS News has learned initial reports show the enemy drone was approaching at the same time an American one was returning, meaning air defenses were temporarily disabled. Soldiers were in their sleeping quarters when they were attacked.
Given the hour, most likely many of them, if not all of them, were in their beds.
We lost 3 brave souls.
Sunday, President Biden blamed an Iranian-backed militia group for the attack. And at the Pentagon Monday, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin expressed sorrow and outrage.
The President and I will not tolerate attack on U.S. forces, and we will take all necessary actions to defend the U.S. and our troops.
Samantha Vinograd is a former counterterrorism official in the Biden administration.
It is critical that the administration respond quickly and responsibly. But that means thinking about how their actions will be interpreted and carefully reviewing targets so that Iran doesn't overreact and seek to harm more Americans.
Iran said resistance groups in the region do not take orders from the Islamic Republic. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle condemn the attack, and there are calls from some Republicans for the U.S. to directly hit Iran.
We are not interested in a broader conflict in the region. We're not looking for another war, but we absolutely will do what we have to do to protect ourselves.
Since the start of the Israel-Hamas war in October, U.S. military sites in Iraq and Syria have been attacked more than 160 times, even as the Biden administration tries to keep the conflict from widening. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
And the Pentagon has yet to identify the dead or their units pending family notifications, and the number of injuries or their severities could rise. And in lighter news, the airline industry is now in its football era now that the Super Bowl matchup is set with the Kansas City Chiefs facing off against the San Francisco 49ers. United and American Airlines have added flights between Kansas City and the host city of Las Vegas. Many include a nod to Taylor Swift and her relationship with Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. Both airlines added flight numbers 1989, which is the name of a Swift album, and United also added flight 2287, a nod to Swift's song 22 and Kelce's jersey number of 87. And those who chose to fly American when returning to Kansas City from Vegas will be doing so on flight 87. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes also has 3 flights in honor of his number 15 jersey, departing various times between the two cities. United also added extra flights between San Francisco and Las Vegas, and they are flights 1995 and 1849. 1995 was the last time that the 49ers won the Super Bowl, and 1849 is the year United says was the original gold rush. Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
If you like the idea of a dish that has long cooked taste, but you don't have time for all that long cooking, make sure you join us today.
But first, we are keeping an eye on this nice week of weather, plus some rain chances by the end of the week. We'll look at all that in that forecast right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So we had a pretty chilly start to our day, even some patchy fog out there. But unlike last week, the fog not lasting all day across the area, which is nice because, boy, after the icy conditions Monday, we just dealt with a dreary, long week. This week, probably going to fly by with how nice things are going to be. The Skywatch Storm Tracker, again, just a quick recap. Clear around our region this morning. It's going to stay that way for a while. Again, the only activity is out in the New England states and the Appalachians. That's about it as we look across the lower 48 out there. MoDOT camera, 20th in range line earlier. Again, plentiful sunshine, clear skies, great visibility out there. And same from the Cornell camera, downtown Joplin. Get a bit of a breeze. Not a cloud in the sky as we got our day underway. And here in a second as the KDOT camera loads from this morning on 69. Look at all that sunshine. Beautiful conditions out there. We had some patchy fog in locations, but nothing like what we had to deal with last week. And we're not going to have to deal with anything like that for a while. Today, still looking at highs, mid-upper 50s. Some of you out west of 75 could even make it into the low 60s today. We'll have a few clouds here and there. These temperatures, again, above average. Keep in mind where our average high is supposed to be back into the low to mid 40s. We're about 10 degrees above that. Southwest breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we head into tonight, we're going to go partly cloudy. We're going to be chilly, but again, it's above average as we should be in the 20s, and we're going to go upper 30s out there. Wind shifts out of the northwest at about 5 to 10 miles an hour, and we do have that potential again late tonight into early tomorrow morning for some patchy fog, and it could be dense in locations, but again, we're not talking the widespread blanket of fog like we experienced every day last week. As we head into our Tuesday, low to mid 50s, so a pinch cooler, but still above normal out there. A few clouds here and there, and we'll have that north breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. And usually that north breeze signals that much colder weather may be around the corner, and that is not the case with this north breeze. It just simply signals there's a breeze out of the north. Because as we head into our Wednesday, we're even warmer as we go into the upper 50s out there. And again, could see a few more low 60s, sunny skies. A few more clouds for us on Thursday, but even warmer yet. More lower 60s expected across the area, which means some of us could make the mid 60s. So we're going upwards of 20, 25 degrees above normal as we head toward Thursday. Still above normal, but a wee bit cooler, mid to upper 50s on Friday. Could see a stray shower here or there. As we go into Saturday, a few more showers possible, and our temperatures come down a bit. They're at, or in these cases, still above normal out there, but a little cooler than what we get through the rest of this week. And they'll stay cool as we kick off next week, upper 40s out there, but that doesn't last very long. As you see, as we head toward the middle of next week, temperatures will once again warm up across the area above average to the tune of about 10 degrees. As we go back into the mid-50s by Wednesday of next week. So again, spring-like weather, absolutely get out there, enjoy it. And of course, for those of you who have lived here long enough, you know that there's that possibility we're going to have to pay for this nice weather at some point in February. So we'll keep an eye out for any crazy systems that might show up. But at least for the next several days, looking pretty good. Caitlin?
All right, well, stick around because we're making chicken and dumplings in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. It's time to check in with Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Today he's making chicken and dumplings. Take a look.
If you like the idea of a dish that has long cooked taste, but you don't have time for all that long cooking, then you're going to go head over heels with the one pot wonder we're making today. Plus, it's hearty, comforting, and very budget friendly. Here we're sauteing some celery and carrots. Sauteing them brings out their natural sugar, which will add so much flavor. To that, we add a generous amount of chicken broth, some poultry seasoning, and a bit of black pepper. And we bring the whole thing to a boil. Here we have some biscuit baking mix combined with some milk to create a soft dough. We'll cut this into strips, and these will be our dumplings. Now we add them to our boiling soup, cover it, and let it simmer. Once they're cooked through, we stir in some cooked cut up chicken, and it's time to ring the dinner bell. The whole thing from start to finish takes less time than having a pizza delivered. And just wait until you try these Amish-style dumplings. If you want to make our chicken and dumplings tonight, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a warm and cozy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And to find this recipe along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. Now, here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so once again, spring-like weather for the next several days as we're going to hang out in the 50s, even some low 60s by Thursday across the area. A few more clouds Thursday, Friday, maybe a stray shower Friday, and we could see some rain chances Saturday. And we'll go a little cooler heading into the weekend, but still above average in most cases, upper 40s and some low 50s.
And coming up tonight at 5, it's National Birth Defects Awareness Month. 1 in 33 U.S. babies are affected by birth defects each year, and while many lead long and happy lives, birth defects are the leading cause of infant death in the U.S. Plus, a Holocaust survivor shares her story with McDonald County High School students. And what are you wearing for the Super Bowl? We head to Jock's Niche in Pittsburgh to see what football fans are buying. Join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. Have a great rest of your day.